In our previous episode, we ended off with the startling revelation that the pie crust was unacceptable. So the next step was to do this by the book. We're going to create a classic pie dough. I'm talking an all butter pie dough, flaky crust. I'm not covering the whole process of making that one again because we saw the process. It looks the same except now we have that traditional pie dough crust at the bottom. And so we roll right into doing our second taste test. How is this new pie going to impress our crowd? That looks pretty good.
For me, compared to the first iteration, love this. I think the ratios are a lot better. Love the traditional crust. It's very crackly and crisp on top. Also, I love that it's a cold pie because it's very hot here and it's nice and refreshing.
I love this. Not as much as the first one. Oh, I like how the ganache is fused with the pie crust and it's giving chocolate croissant, middle of a chocolate croissant, and it's very delicious.
I like this one a lot. I didn't think I would like it as much because of the traditional pie crust, but I really like it. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it's the chocolate croissant thing is so good, and I really like that about it. I also like that there's more of the cheesecake filling.
And with another successful recipe under our belt, the day is upon us. Pie day. So I try to make things easier on myself by making 3 pie crusts at the same time. The first one was used for the taste test that we just saw, and the other 2 were supposed to be used for the actual event. And I say supposed to be because I pulled them out of the fridge, I work with them, I bake them, and a similar fate has befallen both of them. They have both retreated from the sides of the pan. I'm quickly realizing this is not going to work. This has to be a 100% success. Those ones unfortunately go in the trash and we start from scratch. The problem is that we don't have a whole lot of time, but I was determined to see this through. I'm not quitting. So I buckled up. I made 2 fresh pie doughs. I did the whole thing again. And just in the nick of time, we arrived at Pie Day.
We made it to Pie Fest. It was a struggle, but we did it. And look, we have the pie in its final form. I chose the one that was maybe a little less pretty. The more pretty one went to the judges table, but I'm happy because it tastes delicious, and it's called the Great Uniter because it's for everybody. Do you like pie? Do you not like pie? You're gonna like this one. And funny enough, I sat down my pie right next to probably the best looking pie, which is this one. It looks crazy good. Oh my God, I'm not beating that.
But if I'm not going to be the ultimate victor here, at least I can talk to the best pie makers in LA. So I struck up a conversation with my neighbor.
Okay, I made a tart cherry pie. I'm from Michigan, so tart cherries were like apples for us. It was everything. And I used to own a pie shop in Claremont, so this cherry pie was really unusual because people from California rarely get to try tart cherries.
For this pie as well, did you also bring cherries from out of state to make it?
I brought in IQF cherries from a specialty vendor of mine that I used to work with when I had my own business.
This is probably the most well-traveled pie here.
So I thought that I would go a little savory, seeing as everyone is doing sweet. So for my fruit, I did tomato pie. It's a spicy, roasted tomato pie with some caramelized fennel and caramelized onion at the bottom. The pie crust has buckwheat flour and whole wheat flour, so it's sort of pretty amazing. After these guys have eaten 200 sweet pies, at least they'll remember these.
Fun as it was to present my pie to all the passerbys, I also am a bit of a spectator here. So I went around appreciating all of the hard work that everyone else put in here, and one of them in particular stood out to me.
I really like My Chemical Romance. I wanted it to be as black and red as possible to match their studio album, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. It's mostly strawberries and raspberries, so they're red. Obviously, it fits with the album aesthetic. And then I tried to get everything as close to black as possible. Black's a hard color when it comes to baking. So I feel like I've learned a lot.
And before long, it was officially time for the final judgment. The celebrity guests appeared, some faces you might recognize, and another one that we just saw. The owner of the My Chemical Romance pie, they took home the prize for, I think it was Best Display. So that is the end of Pie Day. It's cleared out behind me. The winners have been announced. And drum roll. I was not on the winner's stand. I didn't expect it though, because you saw the amount of talent that was here. Not only was there delicious looking pies, but there was beautiful pies with stories. It was their family's recipe, or the dish was an heirloom dish. The real reward though was there is two moments. There's one kid came up to me, or a dad and their daughter. He's like, "Oh, can she have a bite?" And I was like, "Yes, of course." And so I had a spare fork, and then she took just a little bite of that. She said, "Thank you." And she's gonna go put another bite in. Her dad was like, "No, that's enough. Later on, someone else came with their kid. I didn't really hear what she said, some sort of request for her child. And I was just like, "Yeah, of course." And she was asking if her son could have a slice. I was happy to oblige. And as soon as I give away that slice, I look up and there's all of a sudden there's these people with plates. I just gave out the whole rest of the pie, and it was melting at that point. And it really, yes, that's the gift, is making something like that, putting your heart into it, and just see the amount of people come by, and they're pointing, and they're like, "Oh, that looks so good." To put a bow on this, my neighbor said it the best.
So I'm going to tell you right now, the thing about pie making is your pie and my pie, there's no difference because it's all about the heart. Really, it's how it tastes, right? Like, do the people who eat it have an eye roll moment when they take their first bite and say it's the best thing they've ever eaten? Then that's what it's all about. You and me and everybody here, we're all equal because we've all had somebody say that to us at some point, and it's why we're here.
All the days we were together, to all the time we were apart of each other's lives.